Hello and welcome to In the Papers. I'm joined in the studio by our press reviewer, Florence Villemino. Hello to you, Flo. So we're looking at the French press, first of all. Syria getting a lot of attention as, of course, Foreign Minister Laurent Fabius is touring that region.
That's right. We're going to start by looking at Libération, the left-leaning newspaper that says, "Que faire pour la Syrie? What can we do about Syria?" And there's a tragic photo there that was taken in Azaz yesterday following a raid by government forces. And you see a woman crying amidst the rubble of what used to be her house. Now, the French foreign minister is officially on a humanitarian tour of the region that's going to bring him to Jordan, Lebanon, and Turkey. But according to Libération, his mission is actually to try and bolster the international community's mobilization towards Syria. So it's a very symbolic trip for the French foreign minister, because France has drawn a lot of criticism, according to Libération, for not doing enough, for dragging its feet, for being somewhat reticent to intervene. But in their editorial, Libération defends France, defends this reticence, and says that, sure, France hasn't been bold on Syria as it was, for instance, in Libya, where it took a leading role in the intervention there. But according to Libération, Syria is not Libya. First of all, the situation is a lot more complicated, it's a lot more explosive, potentially explosive for the whole region, and especially on the diplomatic front, you have, the situation is very different. You have, on the Security Council, you have Russia and China that are blocking the situation there. So according to Libération, what France's strategy should be right now is to try to push for a diplomatic solution that would come from Arab states, all the while trying to find a compromise with Russia.
So definitely more of a softly approach. And right-leaning paper Le Figaro is also focusing on Syria. What would come after Assad and that regime's fall?
Absolutely. They have a very interesting interview with a man named Samir Aita, who's an economist and who's a member of the Syrian opposition group, the Democratic Forum. Now, he's incredibly pessimistic, it must be said, and he says that the transition will be incredibly difficult, in fact, more difficult than getting rid of Bashar al-Assad. And this, according to him, is because of the strong divisions within the opposition. Now, Samir Aita says that there's a real risk that the country will be torn apart, first of all, along religious lines because of this Sunni versus Shiite struggle that's going on in Syria, and also along ethnic lines. Now, we're seeing this Kurdish situation going on in the north, and he says that this is likely to open a Pandora's box in the entire region. Now, of course, the whole situation in Syria is being complicated and exacerbated by the refugee crisis, which has been triggered by the situation there. And Le Monde focuses on this. Now, there are, according to the UNHCR, 1 million displaced citizens within Syria. And on top of that, some 270,000 Syrian citizens that have fled to neighboring countries, for instance, Lebanon, Turkey, Jordan, and Iraq. And according to Le Monde, this wave of refugees is really starting to weigh very heavily on the region, and it could trigger a destabilization both economically and politically, according to Le Monde.
Right, now we're going to move on to a story here in France. Rioting in the northern city of Amiens earlier this week is still getting a lot of attention in the press today.
That's right. First of all, L'Humanité, the communist newspaper, has a special investigation. Just what happened in Amiens, they wonder. Now, according to their investigation, it's a combination of high unemployment and growing feeling of alienation. Now, the editorial focuses on the government's reaction to what happened in Amiens. And according to L'Humanité, the government is still searching for its position on France's internal security. The François Hollande's government is very eager to distance itself from Nicolas Sarkozy's government, which had a very tough talk on internal security. But according to L'Humanité, François Hollande's government also wants to show that it's tough on security, so it's a very difficult balancing act for the French government. According to L'Humanité, though, a lot of people feel like the current government's speech is very much déjà vu. That's what the L'Humanité says about the people in Amiens. The L'Humanité wonders, why is the government focusing on security and not things like unemployment, public housing?
The root cause of the problem.
The root cause of the problem, exactly. According to L'Humanité, it's taking the problem the wrong way. Now, La Croix, the Christian newspaper, also says that the left is looking for its way in regarding security. In their editorial, La Croix says that though the government has responded with very heavy police presence, what's going to happen when the police leaves? It says that the government really needs to clear up its position on security, because for the moment, according to La Croix, it's very confusing.
A real test for the government then. Many thanks, Florence Villemino, our press reviewer. This is the end of In the Papers. Stay tuned to France 24.